I learned something this week, and it's something I'm really into. I got to try it a little bit with my son, so I know it works and it's fun. Pickleball Dodgeball.
Yes. What?
Yes.
What?
This is Big Dink Energy, the pickleball podcast that's half insight, half nonsense, and all entertainment. If you love pickleball, don't take yourself too seriously and think a little trash talk makes the game better, welcome home. This is the place where life and pickleball intersect. We celebrate the chaos, call out the nonsense, and put the fun back in dysfunction. You're either in or you're out. And if you're still listening, you're in. So let's go. Big Dink Energy starts now. All right, welcome back to another episode of the BDE podcast. We're so glad you're joining us here today. This is the most mediocre podcast you can probably download, so we're glad you're here, all you mediocre people out there. Typically, we do a little kitchen talk or just us sitting around the table talking to get us into this thing, and I had something I wanted to bring up, if you ladies don't mind. People that clap when the plane lands.
I feel like they're the same people that think Olive Garden is real Italian food.
Yeah.
I'm like, are you clapping because gravity did its job?
So when it happens, it's kind of like, it happens more often than not nowadays. And I'm just thinking, was your plan for the plane not to land and you're so happy it did? So now you're cheering it on like, yay, plane, you did what you should have done.
I'm just such a nervous flyer that like when we take off, I'm like gripping the armrests. And then when we land, I'm like, oh, thank God. Like we actually landed. I'm okay. I'm not dead. Good job.
Really?
Yes. Oh, I hate flying. I'm so nervous on the plane.
I just feel like people who clap, it's like it's not the Miracle on the Hudson. Like, ma'am, you went from
clap,
Austin
right?
to Tampa.
Yeah.
That is what you did. Why are we doing this?
Thanks, Sully, for
you
bringing us down
probably
on the
also
water.
sing Friends in Low Places at the bar.
Every time.
Well, yeah.
Every time.
Yeah.
Those are the clappers.
Well,
that's what I think.
And being from the, having a background in the military, I'm thinking, did you think we dodged a missile or something? What do you think took place?
Right.
I mean, the plane is designed for one thing, to take us from point A to point B.
And to add to that, the people who like start FaceTiming, like, we landed, and it's like, can you move? I need to get my baggage. Like, move. People aggravate me.
Okay, so the clapping then is followed by everybody crowds the aisle. Like,
yeah.
Oh, no, I don't. I just sit there and
hang
wait.
back.
Yeah, I do too. But I see it more and more. It's like, I need to be the first one off the plane. I clap the loudest, so I'm first off the plane. Well, no, this goes in a natural order. It goes from front to back. I'm sorry you paid $200 and had a coupon and you had to sit all the way in the back. But
I think they should be demoted to Spirit if they clap.
The Waffle House of the Sky.
I'm not a clapper. I'm more of a just like, go, let's go.
Yeah, we didn't win a Super Bowl or anything like that. We landed the plane. That's what you were paid to do.
No, you didn't even land the plane.
No.
You didn't do
You're
jack.
right. No, the pilot.
You sat there.
You sat there while everybody else did the work.
Who are we clapping for
That's
then?
what, are you saying, oh, thank God you did your job?
Yeah.
Like, that is what they went to school for. That is what they're trained for. Nobody claps for me at my job.
No, not my
I can start doing that for you
Please.
when you walk in the door.
I'm just saying, I just don't know. Like,
When you walk out the door.
I get aggravated.
Oh.
Aggravated. Are you a clapper? Are you a clapper out there?
If you are a
Do you have
clapper-
the clap?
Please, no, do not go to our website if you have the clap. That's a different website you need. I don't know if it's Valtrex or whatever it is, but
Too far.
don't come to bdepodcast.com with that nonsense. But if you are a clapper or you have the same take as us, go to bdepodcast.com and sound off. You can also record a voice message, and we may use it on a future show.
It's time for Pickle Pal.
One of my favorite segments of the podcast, the Pickle Pals. We love connecting with people and players from around the pickleball world or around the pickleball community. And today, I am honored to be joined by Dinkn Donuts himself, Cody Childers. Cody, thank you so much for spending time with us here on the Big Dink Energy podcast.
You bet. Thanks for having me. This is exciting.
You know, when I lead off with something like Dinkn Donuts, you know, right away, I got to get into that part of it first.
Absolutely.
I'm a donut fan myself, possibly because of my prior law enforcement experience. It's just kind of been put upon me. So how'd you get to Dinkn Donuts?
Kind of the same thing. So Dink try to pick it off of pickleball. Dinking is a part of the game.
Right.
And then donuts is absolutely law enforcement related. 12 years in law enforcement. It just seemed like a good combination. So
Wow. Yeah, I think with our stories, we could probably come up with a podcast on our own just about law enforcement related stories.
totally.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah,
Yeah.
and so that just showcases the game itself, pickleball game, where it crosses so many different bridges to bring people together. Cops out there playing with criminals sometimes. Maybe that could be a tournament by itself. I
But
think
never
Cops and
firefighters.
criminals.
Never
firefighters.
No, I mean, how are you going to get them out of the firehouse? You know what I mean?
Right? They're playing Xbox.
So our firehouse, they just built a new one like a couple blocks from me, and they actually put painted lines in their freaking firehouse. And I'm
Nice.
like, all right, guys, come on.
Yeah, you got to get out of your lounge chair, stop your Xbox game, and go outside. I don't think that's happening.
It's inside. They all have to do is pull out their ambulance and their fire truck, and then there you go.
Yeah, who says budgets are too low these days, right?
Yeah, right.
All right, we're talking about donuts. I'll tell you mine, but you tell me yours first, right? You show me yours, I'll show you mine. What's your flavor? What are you going for when you open up that box?
Maple bar with bacon.
All right.
Classic.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm kind of on the fringe guy. I'm an apple fritter guy. I just
Okay.
love that. I think the sugar to lard ratio is a lot higher in that one, so that's probably why I go for that one.
Absolutely. You got to if you're going to go for a donut, at least go big.
Right. So let's do some easy questions first. So you've got to play doubles with a celebrity, good, bad, or indifferent. Who's the celebrity you would pick to be on your doubles team?
I'll go two. So outside of the pickleball community, it would be Tom Brady.
Yes.
Let's see how good his athletic ability is off the football field.
I think you're getting crushed on that one. He's probably
Probably.
he probably walked on the court as like a duper 7 or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And then in the pickleball community, it would probably be Ben Johns. I mean,
Yeah.
#1 rated men's player. Like, it'd be super cool. But Tyson's also a big one. Where I live, Tyson is just a mile north of me. And so it'd be cool to play with, a person that's in the pro tour and lives local. So
Yeah, that's awesome. Probably a bit of education on that one as well.
oh yeah, I see him at the courts all the time, and I'm like, man, just one day jump in and play around with him just to see what that next level is like.
He looks like he's pretty approachable. So I bet, on the right day at the right time, he's got it in him to just like, yeah, come on, let's go. Let's play some doubles together.
Yeah.
Let's go into how'd you come to pickleball, right? How'd you get here?
Where I live, like Post Falls, Coeur d'Alene, Hayden, they're all kind of interjoined, and Selkirk is the big company up here.
Right.
So back in like 2014, 2015, I knew the Barnes family pretty well. And so I started just playing with them when they were still doing paddles out of their garage. And we actually played at like a alternative high school and played on the gymnasium courts. And that's just kind of where it started. And then coming from a little bit of a tennis background, my girlfriend at the time, now wife, was like, hey, teach me how to play tennis. And I got tired of chasing that damn ball over the fence. And so I'm like, hey, let's do pickleball.
Yeah, that it does look a little backwards compatible, when you talk about video games early on. I think tennis is backwards compatible to pickleball, but I'm not sure if it goes the other way.
No way.
Yeah, I watched Agassi and McEnroe. And I'm like, man, why are you guys so good at just everything paddle or racket related, just nailing them. It was so awesome just to watch. And because that's my generation. I grew up on those guys playing tennis.
Oh, yeah.
So it's nice to see that translating like that. So do you do any coaching with Dinkn Donuts?
Not yet. That's, very new on into the, like what I've been doing with. That started February 6th. And it mainly was just like a lot of the paddle drama with Yola and Rhombus was coming out. And I'm always wanting to try new paddles, but I can't afford, $250, $300 paddles every time one comes out. So my buddy with Dinking and Driving, he and I were like, hey, let's do like a podcast paddle review combination. and we started that on the Super Bowl.
Wow.
It just kind of went from there.
That's awesome. Yeah, you do a ton over on Dinkn Donuts on all the socials. You can find all the paddle reviews that he's doing. Man, you're doing a ton of reviews, and they're really good too. And so I want people to be able to go find you over there and see some of that stuff. So one of the things I like to ask, because I call myself a beginner. I'm actually a really mediocre player. If Duper was ever going to come out with a rating for a 1.5, I'm there all day. You know what I mean? So what is the most overrated advice being on the courts, what's the most overrated advice people keep giving beginners?
I think it's still like up here, everybody is super against the banger style of play.
Right.
And they're like, we're taking away from the integrity of the game. You have to dink, work on third shot drop.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that style's come and gone a little bit, and it's third shot drive, fifth shot drop. And so I try to coach people into that I play with.
Yeah.
Push that ball a little bit harder if you can, if you feel comfortable. And that's the new style. You watch the pros and even the paddle technology, it supports that style of play now.
Mm-hmm.
Where you go back to 2015, you try to hit that ball as hard as you can. You're probably not going to get the spin generation like you do now. So
right. Yeah, the friction on the paddle head, and then the technology that's out there, the carbon fiber paddles and all that. Yeah, it's come a long way for sure. I absolutely love that part of it, but you can get those 5, 6, 7, and 8s out there that are just crushing it, and then people on the sidelines are like, "This isn't for me."
Mm-hmm.
And this community there's really no gatekeeping in this community, but that could be one of those things where you show up, for open play, and you're like, "No, I don't want to get hit by this wiffle ball going that 70 miles an hour." And I saw you had a video up. You got nailed by that ball machine. How did that feel?
Oh yeah. Yeah, so my buddy told me we had to crank it all the way up, which I think is like 70 miles an hour. And he's like, you have to take your training paddle, which is like a small little paddle.
Right.
And it's like, you have to try to hit it with that. And yeah, I took it right to the back of the knuckles. I was just like,
yeah, it's like, was it up there on the same pain scale as like Simunitions?
yeah. Yeah. Well, getting hit in like the knuckle area, that was pretty similar, but
yeah,
I was like, okay, cool. I'm grabbing my other paddle. Like, I'm not going to try to hit with this tiny quarter of what I'm used to hitting with. So
yeah. So you're up in northern Idaho. Is that just a fancy way of saying not yet Canada?
Yeah, pretty much.
And did I see a video where you crushed your mom in pickleball?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh my gosh, dude. Are you still invited over for like family dinner?
I just played with her again yesterday. And
after that, she finally played with you again, or
yeah. No, we played a couple of times, but yesterday I went for the nasty Nelson shot again and totally missed.
Dang it. Good to have mom out there on the court though, I'm sure.
Yeah, mom and dad are both very new into it, so
that's great to bring them along into that.
Sometimes I have to lay off the heat a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, if you want them to keep coming back, can't just crush them every single time. So anything that jumps out when I say pickleball fail, now it can be you, which we prefer here on this podcast, or it can be something you've seen. What's the biggest pickleball fail?
I mean, I have it like every game, every day I play. There's some sort of pickleball fail that happens, but I think the biggest one was my recent tournament, which was like 3 weeks ago. Buddy and I made it to the championship round. I get this nice, easy, high fly lob and go to smash it, and I smash it right out of bounds.
Oh,
lose the game. Lose the game.
Oh no!
And, yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm probably not going to be invited because there was a big F word that got dropped right after that.
No, fun.
Yeah, fun, I think, is the word
fun is
he's
what
referring
to. Oh, yeah. I think there's an extra letter at that 4-letter word.
Fudge. Yeah. Man, the trophy's right within your grasp, and then you just...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, just send it sailing away.
Yeah, we beat the team in round robin, won the first game, and then game 2, game 3, we both just got down into a hole early on and trying to just force it too much, trying to come back out of that hole. And ended up losing.
There you go. That's why you should be playing with Tom Brady then. How many times have we seen those comebacks in the second half?
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? So you have a pretty good following already on Dinkn Donuts, and so I know you're all about building community. Any unconventional or unique ways that you find, that help you build a community? Is it all donut related, or are there some unique things you're doing for the guys and gals out there who are trying to build their brand as well? What kind of advice?
Yeah, my wife also has a Instagram, YouTube that she started like a year ago on like the women's archery side. And so I really just kind of pick her brain, and she kind of helps me out on things to do, when to post, how to post, and really all my recent advancement in growing my portfolio is her helping me. So I kind of just piggyback off of her right now.
Yeah, no, that's fine. And my wife, 22 years, she definitely has carried me the whole way. I'm her third child. She didn't know she was adopting when we got into this.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's nodding her head. Okay, so pickleball didn't exist. What's the completely random hobby you would be picking up today?
A random hobby. Kind of done everything, like racquetball, tennis, ping pong, rock climbing.
Yeah.
I'd probably just devote it all back into hunting and archery and trying to get better at that.
I was going to say, you'd probably jump right into women's archery.
Probably.
Yeah.
So it's crazy. Like, it's crazy. I shoot a compound and my wife is like absolutely against it. She goes traditional longbow recurve, and that's what she hunts with. That's what she shoots with.
Dang. She's regular green arrow out there. That's awesome.
Absolutely. Love it.
Any superstitions you bring to the court? Like, man, if I don't have this, I'm not going to play well today.
Yeah, my ankle braces.
Yeah.
I feel that.
I had 2 years ago, I dislocated my ankle, broke my fib, tore ligaments in my ankle. So now it's like, if I don't have them in my backpack, I'm like, oh, I'm not playing today.
Yeah. Being a mediocre player myself, if I've got a time to play and I got jeans on, okay, you know what I mean? If I've got my old boots from law enforcement on, yeah, that's fine too. And we see the Crocs out there. We see the Hey Dudes. But yeah, now in my older age, I do like showing up with the right gear on to help myself. So how can people find out more about Dinkn Donuts?
Really, the only place right now is either on Instagram, just trying to boost that following, trying to post daily, whether it be reels, it be reviews, it just be a little bit of gameplay. Like, I just that's my main focus right now. My YouTube is slowly growing. I'm kind of piggybacking off my buddy with Dinking and Driving. He has a little bit of a following on YouTube already, from prior podcasts and stuff in the fitness community. So YouTube is mainly where you'll see like our podcasts and reviews and stuff, and I'm just kind of trying to build my YouTube face on that.
Is it also Dinkn Donuts over on YouTube?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, very good. So all you listeners on the Big Dink Energy podcast, make sure you go and find Cody Childers over on the YouTubes and on the Instas for all of his Dinkn Donuts stuff. We definitely want to build that following. This is what community is all about. Cody's doing great things out there, so make sure you go find him. Cody, I got to ask you, what is you're getting on the court, it's a big tournament. What's your walk-on music?
It's got to be Bad Boys.
Okay. All right. Bad Boys, Bad Boys.
Yeah, absolutely.
I got it. You're bringing the past into the present. I love it.
Got to link pickleball and cop world. You got to link it together somehow. So
yeah,
what better way than Bad Boys?
Yeah. Just love having you on today, Cody. So you do a lot of paddle reviews. I'm just going to leave us with this one. If you can, I know you may have some exclusivity with some of them out there. What's the middle of the lane? Just getting into pickleball, but I want to up my paddle game just a little bit. What's the one you recommend?
Right now, I'm big on the 11.624, their power line. I just got that one. I actually purchased that paddle because it sold out in like 5 minutes.
Right.
On the first run. So that second pre-order I had to jump on. Other than that, I'm big on my Selkirk 008, that, all foam paddle. They're doing good things. And that's a little bit more control oriented as far as like power, and I like the power gameplay. So Drive City, USA.
I love it. Well, Cody, thanks so much. Dinkn Donuts, go find them on all their social medias. Cody, it's been awesome talking to you, brother.
Yeah,
I know we have a ton of stories that we would tell around the fire pit. So anything we can do to continue to promote you and get your name out there and build that brand for you, please let us know.
Will do. Thank you.
Anything you need us to do. So thanks again so much for being here on the Big Dink Energy Podcast.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So, Paddle Princess, you had something you wanted to talk about when we were sitting down going over the notes.
I did. So, this is something that I saw is becoming quite popular and something that people actually really want. It is the it is the no talking pickleball challenge. So, no talking, no gestures, no signals, just pure silent gameplay so that they can keep their head in the game.
Quiet coyote.
So like a mime competition.
Basically. all you hear is the dinking of the balls.
This is the most ridiculous. I did not take a vow of silence. I came to talk trash, be loud, and have fun.
I just don't think it's that serious.
Like,
You're out
just
there
ridiculous.
with your friends. Like I want music. I want trash talk. I want jokes. I want to laugh. Being so silent throughout an entire game to me seems ridiculous.
Yeah, but I mean, so they have those pop-up concerts where you just put the headphones on and then you're connected to the music everybody else is connected to. But if you take them off, then it's all just people sweating together and jumping around.
It's so weird. I saw that in a movie.
Yeah, I did too.
But I mean, it's also like telepathy is not a double strategy. Like, how am I supposed to know that's yours if you're not saying mine? Like, if you're not saying anything.
Well, some people are using it as a strategy so that the other team isn't knowing what they're talking about and knowing what their next play is. Like they're so good together that they don't have to say it out loud, and so the other team won't know what they're going to do.
So this is back to your hand signals from an earlier podcast.
Yeah,
Go
but
find that.
They don't do gestures either.
No gestures either.
No
I have lots of gestures for this Dink or Destroy.
Yeah. Well, you still, I mean, there's going to be the grunting and the, the bodies moving around, the skirt of the shoes on the court.
Skirt.
And all of that.
I just feel like go do yoga and meditate if that's what you want to be.
Well, then they even have like a punishment type thing. So if someone does talk, then their opponent gets a free serve.
So is this like a way to play? Is this like house rules? Is this like something like that? Like, are they coming up with that? Like
2 bounce counts.
No, I've seen that a lot of people are playing like this.
Like, are you on timeout now? You spoke. You're on timeout.
The other person gets a free
so
serve.
tennis already has that, right? So
they do.
Tennis is kind of like that.
I don't follow.
you're not
Yeah, there's no talking or anything like that. This is one of the things we definitely don't want to bring over from tennis.
I think pickleball is so social.
Hashtag tennis sucks.
I mean, pickleball is so like I spend so much time talking. I mean, it's probably annoying. So if you don't like that, then don't play with me.
Right.
You spend a lot of time hurting my feelings. So this may be something I do want to dink on.
I'm a destroy.
Only if I'm playing
I'm
with
a
you.
destroy as well.
I'm a loud and proud.
Oh gosh, aren't you?
Go loud.
I'm a loud and proud.
Go loud or go home.
I'm a destroy as well. I got to have the music. I have it. Trash talk. How else are you going to know my air guitar song when I got one over the net? You know what I mean? When I'm playing my paddle like an air guitar.
Well, what happens when you fall? Like, are you going to make a noise?
If a tree falls in the forest and no one's around.
If a bear.
No.
Okay.
Okay. So it was a destroy.
Destroy.
Destroy for everybody.
3 destroys. Tell us what you think. BDEpodcast.com. Chime in. Let us know. Sponsor for this is Dinkn Balls. Think your game's too serious for fun balls? Well, as we say in Texas, bless your heart. Dinkn Balls are here to shake up your court time. They are USPA standard, built for legendary rallies and designed for players who know the best games come with a side of laughter and trash talk and not a scoreboard. Every purchase supports our military and first responders because let's be real, your balls should do more than just bounce. Stop playing with boring. Start playing with balls that get you noticed. Upgrade your game at dinknballs.com. That's DINKN balls.com. Dinkn Balls, play with confidence even if you shouldn't.
Found, heard, and learned.
This is really news you can use out there.
You had to throw that in, didn't you?
I'm going to get the news you can use. We're going to change it.
That's fine.
No, we're not.
Found, heard, and learned. This is something from our week, and we're going to give it to you in kind of a newsy way.
Oh, my gosh.
So I did found this week, and I actually found it last week reading, and then I actually got to experience it while I was traveling this last week. So there's several outlet malls and regular malls that are turning into pickleball courts. So like Old Saks, Fifth Avenue has been turned in one, and Old Kohl's and Old Navy. And while we were traveling, we went to the Rowdy Hog in Little Rock, Arkansas. And when we pulled in, it was a outlet mall, or at least an outdoor style mall. So there was like, Academy and Under Armour and Bath and Body Works. But then in this little corner, there was a pickleball place. They had 4 courts. They had a great pro shop. Some of the people there, that's a whole nother story. But I thought it was super cool because so many malls are being...
Right.
So when I see malls nowadays in the news, shootings usually, something like that, I think they're just so glad to be relevant again, no matter what happened at the mall.
Right.
So yeah, absolutely. I mean, the mall's been dying a slow death for a long
It's like
time.
all you're getting is Annie's pretzels and a Cinnabon. Let's go.
Yeah.
So I think it's a great way to fill that space.
I agree.
And I think it's also a neat way for people that are just at the mall to see and maybe that don't know what it is and kind of peek in and get their first experience and be like, oh, what is that?
Oh, that's fun. Let's go try it.
Yeah. So I think it's pretty cool. And we had a
think so
good
too.
time and it was easy to park and
Yeah,
I
there's
liked
gonna be
it.
lots of parking.
Yeah, I guess my biggest concern is now I got to smell Sbarro while I'm dinking, and now I'm thinking pizza the whole dang time I'm playing.
Hey, at least you burn off all the calories.
Yeah, it's like a 3-mile run. All right, who's got our herd from this week?
I do. So I heard of this place called Pickle Rage in Glen Burnie, and they are having an event, and they've already had one of them, but the next one is on April 1st. But it is the Play with Anything But a Paddle.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah.
And
I saw
I
him,
just thought it was the coolest thing
Yes.
to go do. And basically, the rules are you show up and you play with anything except an actual paddle, frying pans, books, flip flops, anything that you can think
that's
of.
so fun. I would straight go out there with a big old whiteboard.
Jesus.
Like, come and get me.
That would be so awesome.
I think it would be super fun.
Yes.
I saw that on a TikTok or something, and I remember watching it going, oh, that looks really cool.
I have never heard of this before, and I just came across it, and I was just thinking that would be so much fun to go play. And then I just start looking at everything around me going,
Right.
could I use that? Could I use that? That would be a little too heavy. Like, I couldn't do it with a frying pan because
I think the big whiteboard's the way to go.
Apparently, you're really all about that.
I'm all about it.
No.
I had already thought about it. That's what I'm saying.
You could
That
draw
would
a
be
paddle
awesome.
on it.
I think it's cool.
I'm thinking, we, the kids and I just watched Happy Gilmore. So now I'm thinking hockey stick, something
hockey,
along
yeah.
those lines.
Not a very big sweet spot, though, on that.
I know.
No.
It's going to be a little
I
too
mean,
skinny.
I don't need a sweet spot anyhow. I'm so happy I hit the ball to begin with.
I do know that if there's anybody out there that's listening that has done that, I would love to know their experience.
Same. And what they used and
Yeah.
what other people used that actually worked.
Give us your feedback, bdepodcast.com. Get on there, recorded voice on there, or just send us a message on our socials, bdepodcast.com. You can find us on Instagram and all the other social
Big
medias.
Dink Energy Podcast on Instagram.
Look at that, cutting in half
Love
over
it.
there. Mm-hmm. You bring in the energy, the big Dink energy.
Get it?
Y'all know.
Can we move on to me now?
Sure.
I am
for
the
it.
center of attention
He
usually.
hasn't talked enough yet.
Yeah. So I learned something this week, and it's something I'm really into. And I got to try it a little bit with my son, so I know it works and it's fun, is pickleball dodgeball.
What?
Yes.
The kids were
What?
playing that at Sunday dinner.
Yeah.
Outside.
Yeah,
we
so
were watching them just
he didn't
nail
know,
each other.
So yeah, Stratton and I did it, and he didn't know he was doing it. I just invited him in. So it's essentially everybody gathers around in a circle around a pickleball paddle. You set it on its head, and you take the grip, and you spin it, and whoever it points to, that's the person that's it when it falls. Right?
Okay, and what does the it person do?
The it person then picks up the paddle and a ball, and
Just
at this
starts
time,
wailing people?
As soon as it lands, everybody runs away. That's not it.
Oh.
I'm
And then
loving
you got to
it.
hit somebody with it.
Because I loved 80s and 90s dodgeball. That's
Stuff.
that stuff was just, that's where winners were made.
Right.
Yeah.
That is where I feel like you learned how to just buck up.
Yeah.
And Red Rover, that's
Yeah.
the
I loved Red
clothesline.
Rover.
Yeah, I can.
was the best.
Anytime I see a dodgeball on a meme or something, I can smell it. I can feel the texture.
You can dodge a wrench. You can dodge a ball.
So no, this is really. I think there's something to it. I love it. I love a tiny little violence.
Oh, me too.
On a pickleball court. So yeah, I was all about the. Pickleball
I loved when those
dodgeball
lobs come and I can just
right in the kitchen.
right in the.
I just think that the parents should always get to be it, and the kids always have to just run.
Well, that's what I did. So he didn't. Like I said, he didn't know he was
well, he
playing.
didn't probably know the rules.
He didn't know the rules. Didn't know he was playing. He just knew he
said
took a ball to the back.
That's the best. Did you guys ever play Army dodgeball
No.
growing up?
No.
I don't know if it's politically correct, but nowadays.
Probably
but it was
not.
where you were lined
Nothing
up
is.
against the wall and then they would peg
Oh,
you.
yeah, okay.
And then if
Okay.
they hit your arm, then you would have to like put it behind your back because
Yeah.
it was like taken off.
Yep.
And then a leg,
Oh.
and then you'd be like on your knees, like Monty Python, just a flesh wound
Mm-hmm,
type, moving around. That was fun.
I have never
I
played that
loved
before.
all those games. I think they made better children.
They were a little
yeah.
tougher.
Oh no. Yeah.
I think
so
those
there's
games
been-
made better pickleball players today.
No, yeah.
Because
So
we played
there's
those
been
games.
studies on that. There's been studies
Has to be.
on just having a pile of rocks out there and letting kids play on them now,
Right.
versus one of these little safe playgrounds. The kids flourish so much more in
Like,
that kind of environment.
You look at those old playgrounds and you're like, what?
Yeah.
With the metal slides.
The metal slides.
Burn our butts going down it.
Those dome style.
Just
monkey
hang
bars.
your one
yeah.
leg.
Yeah, that
And
was
you
like
just climb
80
up-
feet in the air.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's just like, kids, go play.
Yeah.
Right.
Break a leg, literally.
Not now. It's like, don't touch that. Don't do that. Don't be there. Don't touch that.
Yeah.
Here's your gluten-free chips.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
we
So
do.
now
I think we
we're-
do have
gluten-free
gluten-free
chips,
chips in our
We're
closet, by the way.
reverting back and pegging our kids in the back with pickleballs.
Sorry.
Yes. Yes.
I think that this is a great way to acclimate people to pickleball.
Yes.
So
Brand
hey,
new players.
brand new players,
Come here, look at
play
this
with
paddle.
us.
Come on this
is
side
what-
of the court.
Right.
And you
this
won't be
is-
afraid of it anymore.
This is how you play the first round. And
This is how we determine
like
who
a
serves.
hazing.
Who serves?
Who serves,
exactly.
yeah.
If you can beat the ball, then you get to serve.
If you're, yeah, we're going to find out who's a little B word out here on the court.
Do it.
Yeah.
I'm all for it, and I think it should be something they do, like the play with anything paddle. Like, let's add some of these games to these social nights, and you can sign up for it. Like, I'll sign up for Pickleball Dodgeball.
Yeah.
But then if you show up and you're like not that type of person,
You're
like
going to
you
be
just
in your Hey Dudes.
no, I won't. I have good shoes now. So you go to these things. It's like Dink or Drink. You're getting your drinks and everything, and it's like, if you don't want to play that, you don't have to, but the people that do want to can. So there's
Yeah,
a
I think I
whole
would
lot
have to
of
have a couple
different.
drinks before I decided to play that with you.
Oh, well, all
Maybe
these,
like several
now these courts,
before I let you.
these courts are coming out with waivers
beam
now.
a pickleball
Even
my
more
back.
waivers.
I'm
This is your scratch courts pickup. This used to be a basketball court, and there's no judges around here kind of court. This isn't for your everyday mom
with
and
that
pop
in mind.
pickleball
Let's
place.
do shirts and skins.
I'm in. I'm in.
Shirts for skins. Like, what's the reason? We didn't know who was playing.
Yeah.
Let's just do it just for the hell of it.
That was a man maker in gym class. That
Oh,
was
yeah.
a man maker. That's it for this episode. Unless you've got something to say, think we got it wrong, have a better take, we want to hear it. Find us at bdepodcast.com or at BDE Podcast on the socials. Drop us a message. We might just feature you in the next episode. If you had a good time, well, samesies. If not, maybe try again. We grow on people. So you know the deal. Follow the show, tell a friend, and leave us a review. Or just pretend this never happened. Until next time, keep the dink soft and the energy big.